What's up, guys? Good morning. I'm working on some A2P website templates. We're hiring someone on Fiverr to build some A2P compliant website templates. So what we're doing now is, since we can actually guarantee 100% A2P approval, however, when clients do themselves or they have a website already, they will most likely get rejected because A2P is super. The people who review A2P submissions are the TCR, and they're very nitpicky on what they look for. And we've submitted over 1,000 applications, and we know what they look for. So we're building these templates out. So any user that signs up, we automatically create a website for them under our subdomain. And it will be automatically done by a bot, not by a team member. And it will be hosted on our main sub-account. So any new user that signs up, they will have an A2P compliant website same day. And then we can submit that website with their A2P. So in theory, that would reduce the amount of rejections that are happening. And if it's rejected, then then we don't know why, because it's 100% of the time just the website. So we're fixing this issue right now. Pretty much from now on, we're not going to let clients be able to submit their own websites. It's just going to be our website that we use, because we know that our website that we create for them is already going to be A2P compliant. So we want to make sure that we can control as many variables in that process as possible, because once it gets sent off to the TCR, you can expect response times. It could be 2 business days or it could be 10 business days. So we want to make sure that before we send it off, that we check all our boxes, because if you can't get A2P approved, then you can't text, you can't use the platform. So it's really important that they get A2P approved as soon as possible, so that they can start using our platform and start adopting our product. So right now, I woke up this morning with like 10 A2P rejections from customers that I kind of promised already that their A2P would be approved. So that kind of sucks. But so we're kind of putting them on high review right now, and making sure that this submission doesn't get rejected, because this is kind of getting ridiculous. If I was a customer, I'd be pretty pissed. So we're making sure now that we're able to control all the variables in their application, and making sure that we can guarantee, because we guarantee 100% A2P approval as long as they follow our process, which is submit your EIN document to us that you got from the IRS, and then we'll submit that. We'll use that information and then the website we create to submit your A2P for you, because no one really knows what A2P is, and especially if you're pretty new to the texting game, you have no idea what text like A2P is. So we definitely don't want to get our customers in the mix with that. So we're trying to pretty much take all that stress, because once we get a user to adopt, it's pretty much easy. Like the hardest part is just getting them in the door to text, which you kind of just increases that discrepancy between like the time they bought and the time they can start using it. So we need to decrease this time as much as possible. And this is pretty much how we're doing it. Is we're creating 5 website templates that we cycle through for any new user sign up, and they're all going to be A2P compliant, or I guess what they're looking for type of templates. So that's what we're working on now, and then a bot to automatically create websites under our subdomain with their company, so that they don't have to connect domains. They don't have to buy a domain. They can just use our subdomain for now to get A2P approved, and then in the future they can change it out if they'd like. So I think we're the only company that is doing this right now. So it's new waters, but we have a proof of concept, and right now we just need to pretty much wait for these developments to be in place. And then we're also starting to track kind of risk scores on customers to know like, okay, this customer has, hasn't been ATP, is not ATP approved and is signed up so-and-so months or days ago. Definitely want a success manager, so it notifies the success manager to reach out and be like, hey, you signed up with us, but you're not ATP approved, or like maybe they've been rejected many times. So that would signal a high-risk customer. So we're implementing those monitoring systems in place to make sure that we're a lot more proactive on stuff like this. It's just very difficult at a high volume. So yeah, that's what we're working on now. Headed to a dentist appointment. I hate dentists, but fortunately this is not any sort of operations being done on me. It's just picking up my aligner, so it's not that serious. I think I'm on my last trays now, so that's pretty cool. And I'll just be where I am at night. I think I slept. How did I sleep last night? Not bad. An hour 39 of deep, hour 46 of REM. Not the best. Whoop is saying I recovered 50%. That's not good. I definitely want to be. Looks like I'm higher. My HRV is a little lower today. It's pretty much heart rate variability. Slower today. I feel fine, but again, I'm still trying to get consistent on my sleep schedule. It is so difficult because I think every entrepreneur, or everyone, not just entrepreneurs, are guilty of having a terrible sleep schedule. Unless you're older. When you're older, you kind of just logged it down. But when you're younger, your sleep schedule is definitely a lot more volatile. But I'll see you guys when I get back. Okay, just got done with that. I did some like realignments on my teeth things, but now I like 7 trays left. Honestly, I don't mind the aligner stuff, or my aligners. Nothing else now, just keep fucking working, and man, I cannot wait till all this is like automated and like New Year's just come on and it's all easy peasy lemon squeezy. So wait until that day comes, and that day is coming, and we're just working hard to make sure everything's good. ATP is our biggest hurdle. Once we get ATP done and once we get them through the door, then that's when we're good. ATP has been such a huge block for us, for user adoption especially. So we're making sure that really wellness is pretty much top priority, and then I can focus on like the CRM itself and bettering that, because again, that's what I'm good at. But when these issues come up, it holds me from doing that. So I have to make sure that my COO is actually in charge of this stuff. So if any of you are wondering, I've tried many different fucking tax services. Tried Prime Corporate Services, TrueBooks, and honestly, if you're doing under $250K a year and you don't have a crazy complex tax structure, just download the app, Keeper Tax. It's literally like $10 a month, and keeping your books together is so easy, way easier than QuickBooks. Tax filing is stupid simple with them, way easier with them, and they have a premium version. It's like only $379 a year, which is a fucking fire price. and you can ask them any tax questions you may have. So I really like the company, and all these other tax companies are way too fucking expensive for nothing. Just waste your time. Honestly, most answered and most tax questions can also be answered through ChatGPT. So because I mean you could just tell it to search the tax code, and such. So all these fucking tax companies are gonna be no good in a couple years because AI is just gonna, if they don't do anything about it, then they're gonna get replaced and pretty much render useless. So see you guys later. Yo, what's up, guys? I'm currently on the way to the gym, LA Fitness, and I'm gonna be working out. I'm doing back and buys today. Pretty long day at work. Today was one of those days where like I just like didn't have like any. Well, I had like really late lunch and honestly didn't even feel hungry. Unfortunately, no pre-workout today, which is okay because it's a pretty short workout because I'm joining a friend after this. She's cooking some ribs, so that's gonna be pretty nice. So I'm waiting. Things are looking brighter on the Astro Blaster side day by day. We're getting a new product person this week. Super excited about that. And then we're working on an automated website creation bot. So any new user that signs up automatically creates a website. So that's going to be something that probably requires high maintenance, but is something that is going to be super dope to have. So I'm super excited about that. Let's think. Maybe I could have someone do it manually in the meantime, but I'm having someone. So we outsourced a developer. I found him on Fiverr too. I've actually found a lot of great people on Fiverr to outsource work for me. Like in initial developments of Astro Blaster, before it actually even became Astro Blaster, I got my realtor list. I paid a scraper developer from there. So the scraper guy, he's the one who initially pulled the realtor list for me. So I paid him it was like $100 for initial setup for the actual scraper itself, and then it's like $50 per market. Right now we have like 60 markets. We don't have to pay $50 for each market, but it like proxies and IP switching and stuff like that takes up to it could cost a bit. Just the startup is just more expensive than the continuous cost. So we're already here. We're heading to the gym and destroying my back and biceps, and that's what's gonna happen. So in the art of war, it's to be strong when you're weak and to be weak when you're strong. I think it's to act weak when you're strong, and then act strong when you're weak, so that when you act weak, your opponents don't feel like they need to come armed, so they're more vulnerable. If you come strong, then they're gonna feel like I guess they're just not gonna try to approach you because you're framed as strong. So you really just want to not be either. Actually, just be normal. Don't be weak. Don't be strong. Just be almost mysterious. Maybe be both. Be an ever switching between these two. It's to also be strong and be weak.
don't really have much to talk about today. I did 80 pull-ups at the gym. Only had like 30 minutes to do so. And I gotta head to a friend's house because he's cooking some ribs. So that's gonna be really good. And then I have a meeting tonight. I usually don't have meetings this late, but it's a pretty important meeting. So having a meeting tonight. And really that's all. Continue working on bettering the user onboarding process. I love seeing more ATP approvals. We're getting better day by day, and it's only gonna get better. So I gotta hang in there, and everything's gonna look brighter. Like Drake said, more money, more problems. Bring on the problems. And a lot of y'all, that shit flew over your head. You're like, that shit hard, that shit hard. Well, it's real, because the only way you do make money is that you fucking solve problems. You solve problems for a specific group of people. Usually it's best when you don't go out and try to solve other people's problems, but you solve your own. So you join a niche, right? A niche is just a group of people who have similar interests. And then you join that niche, and then you do whatever is in that niche. You see the problems in that niche, because there's always problems. If there's not problems, then you are doing something wrong. There's something wrong. You're not growing. You're stagnant. If there's no problems, then you're not growing. It's like you have to have problems in order to grow, because if there was no problems, then anyone can scale up to whatever. That's why people pay so much to get in rooms, to get knowledge and stuff, to overcome problems, because problems are present when you're trying to go to new grounds that have never been paved before. So it's important to have problems, okay? And to really understand them. And by the way, this is a plastic water bottle, yes. However, that's the only water they had at the gym. Unfortunate, because I talked about it in our video, but they did a study on these water bottles, these plastic water bottles, and it can actually leak estrogenic, like, I guess, hormones in the water bottles. Again, I am no doctor. Don't take anything I say factual. But it's kind of logical. It's like a lot of these get shipped on pallets, like cases of them are shipped on pallets, and a lot of times these pallets are left outside in the sun, and the sun will leak those microplastics from the plastic bottle into the water in which you drink. So I always just go directly to glass. You can leave those out in the sun as much as you want, because you know how when you leave a water bottle like this, there's water in it, and you leave it in your car for a couple of days, you know how that shit tastes different? Yeah, because of that shit is those microplastics being melted in there, is all those microplastics. So that's all no good. The YouTube's growing really well. Oh wait, I gotta make this call. Hold on. I had a meeting with our video guy today, Thomas. He's an amazing dude. Love him a lot. But we got aligned on schedules and stuff and to-dos. And a lot of stuff didn't quite make sense. So, no hard feelings on him, but it's what makes sense for both me and him. And now Ilham is our video editor, and he's super, super, super dope. We just gotta get him better at really editing the videos, and but the cultural differences are there, so it's like I don't blame him. But that's also something with hiring, outsourcing creative work like that, is there's gonna be some gaps in communication, which is just gonna be normal. Yes, it's cheaper than US pay. However, that's the discrepancy you're really going to see when you're hiring offshore. So just keep that in mind when you're hiring offshore. Is like, don't expect it to just be like lower priced, high quality talent. High quality talent is really hard to find, especially offshore. So what I found was like US people, it's really difficult. A lot of US people, especially under 20 bucks, a lot of them are very lazy. And most of them are very lazy. I've seen the Philippine people, Pakistan, India, those type of people. They're very hardworking people. They're one of the greatest people I've ever met. US people are just lazy. They always like just have something that comes up. It's just like always not a good and it's very hard. It's just very hard to find those type of people. So I'm not saying US employees suck, because there's 100% great US people, no doubt. It's just, it's hard to find for those tasks that are under 20 bucks. You know, you're just gonna get a bunch of jerk offs usually. So headed in now to eat some freaking ribs. What's up, guys? That was so good. Those ribs, freaking amazing. My friend Tanner makes them so good. He smokes them for like 4 hours. Puts like salt, garlic, pepper, and then like a rub. Shit comes out amazing. But I do have to chill out on my my blood sugar levels, because it's at like 5.7, and like that's like pre-diabetes, pretty much at critical level for diabetes. So I really have to watch out, especially for my carb intake, because I'm Chinese, so like I have a shit ton of rice like every day, or I used to. Now I have to force myself not to eat rice, because that's how I was raised. I mean, fucking straight out the stomach, I'm eating rice. I'm eating at least 4 cups a day, not even trying. So that's like, you know, I'm having a good, easily having like 250 grams of carbs easily, just rice only. 250 grams of carbs every single day, and not including the sugars, and not including all the extra stuff that I have a protein bar, I have a protein shake, and those have carbs and sugars, and it's like I have at least, you know, low 300s of carbs every single day. And that's like a day where I'm like not, like that's just a normal day for me. And I'm glad I took the blood test, because that's when I found out that my hemoglobin levels were just too high. I have really no family history apart from my, like, I guess I do. It'd be my dad's side's grandma. But I mean, she never had problems until she was older. So, you know, I'm 18, and having these problems at 18 is pretty alarming. So, making sure that I'm watching my blood sugar levels really well. So, really limiting on the sweet stuff. Really no carbs. Best. So I'm trying to bring that down right now. I feel a lot better with no carbs, to be honest. Like, I feel a lot leaner and a lot less bloated. My sleep, however, I mean, honestly, sleep is so volatile. There's so many variables that come in play that it's like I can't just pick one thing. So I'm trying to, right now, tonight I probably won't get the best sleep. Just knowing, like, I have this meeting right now that I have to go to. And it's just like, man. So, if you're okay, this is also reminds me of something. If your ass is gonna be late, this is not just for entrepreneurs, but if your ass is gonna be late, let the fucking person know that you're gonna be late. And it's just so simple. But people, like, you should let people know and not waste their time. Like, at least be proactive about it and be like, hey, you know, I'm gonna be late. You know, can you please so and so and so, like, yeah, I'm gonna be late. Just FYI, this came up. Or like, you really should never be in those situations unless, like, you know, an actual emergency comes up. But usually, you know, if you're gonna be late, always tell the person that you're gonna be late. Don't just show up late. Actually let the person know or whatever ahead of time, and then, you know, do that. And it sounds so simple, but a lot of people don't do it, and it's just the most disrespectful thing ever, because it's like, no matter who the hell you're showing up towards, a family member or fucking Bill Gates, like, let them know that you're gonna be late. Hopefully you're not late to a meeting with someone like that, but with anyone, you shouldn't. You should always keep people updated with you know, what your time of arrival is. But that's a really small thing. But overall, people like updates in general. That's one of the things that we're kind of thinking about in the customer journey for Astro Blaster users. So any user that signs up, we try to make sure that they get as many updates as possible without being kind of overwhelming. You know, there is a saying where, like, there's never too much value, and I agree to that to a certain extent. Sometimes it gets messy, but we're thinking about implementing some updates like that. Like, hey, your A2P was submitted, A2P was approved, your phone number was submitted, your phone number was approved, like all this stuff, or like your phone number was submitted to the call registries, and so on and so forth. So just these updates in place, just so that they can hold themselves more accountable, and just so that they can see the value of their service. Because a lot of times you may be working behind the scenes on a lot of stuff for your client, but you're not letting them know, and that keeps them in the dark. So what you got to do in these situations is you really have to keep them posted on everything and anything that happens. Like, instead of, you know, like touching base with them in 2 weeks, or like having an update in 2 weeks, just have these micro updates. Even though it's the same process, if you just send them micro updates, they'll be more informed, and then feel like, you know, they're actually there's no value to price discrepancy. So that's where churn happens, or cancellations happen, or refunds happen, is when there's a high discrepancy, or even any discrepancy between what they're paying for and what value they're getting. So if I paid $1,000 for a service and I feel like I'm getting, you know, $500, I'm gonna be pissed. If I paid $1,000 but I got like $1,500 worth of service, then I would be very happy and I would say good things about that company. So that's really the game of business, is making money, but also like just providing a shit ton of value, not just screwing people over. So finding that balance between the two, that yin and yang, being able to sell something at the absolute right price. It's very hard nowadays with kind of everyone's mindset about info products and stuff. It's like, oh, courses, blah blah blah, and like, oh, your course sucks. And a lot of the courses out nowadays are actually much better than the courses you see on fucking or the college courses. It's like the things we learn today, and you can even find these on YouTube, like a new ad strategy that fucking is crazy, like or like that works really well. You know, you will learn a lot more from the actual courses online from these quote-unquote gurus and these influencers and these people than you will from a college education. I promise. Like, you spend $10,000 on a one-on-one mentorship coaching program, because that's what I did. I spent $8,000. I didn't even have $8,000. I was 16. I was like 15, 16. I didn't have $8,000. I was doing monthly payments, and it was the best investment I've ever made in my life, because it got me through the doors to talk to Jamil, and now we have a thriving company. It's like, that's just because I invested and I took the leap of faith in a coaching program like that. And I'm not saying every single online course they see out there right now by these successful people are going to be amazing courses. However, I'm going to say that I can confidently say that most of the courses out there that are legit will be a lot more valuable than the college education stuff you see nowadays. It's just because like college education, like their textbooks are like 10 years behind. So if you actually want to have a competitive edge in your industry, learning 10-year-old knowledge is not really that, not going to give you that much of a competitive edge. So really making sure that, you can also not need to take a year to learn a subject. With courses, you can learn it in a matter of months. And even with college education, spending a year won't really get you any qualification. But if you spend a year in a course, it'll get you a ton of qualification. That's if the person is willing to now here's a huge caveat to this, because a lot of people will buy a bunch of courses, whether it's college education or whether it's like education from like these other successful people. If you take all these things and you don't take action, then all of it will render useless, whether it's from college or whether it's from Jamil Damji or Pace Morby. So really at the end of the day, it's really important to make sure that you're getting the right information from the right person, and that you're actually taking action and really lowering your standards to the fact that you're not gonna become a millionaire overnight, and you're definitely not gonna become a millionaire in a month. You won't become a millionaire in a couple months. So and even a year, it's like a lot of people fail. I think they did a study on high schoolers, about like 50% of high schoolers think that they're going to become millionaires for some reason. Now, I am one of the ones that did think I was going to become a millionaire and actually did become a millionaire. So I'm one of the, I guess, lucky few, but I mean, it took hard fucking work. Like, I worked a ridiculous amount. I still work a ridiculous amount, and I very much, I would be embarrassed to say how much I work, to be honest, because I mean, it's just like I don't really even see the sun. I have like a vitamin D. I genuinely, if I showed you my blood report, my blood test results, it would show a vitamin D deficiency. So it's like this is one of the things that was said by another highly successful entrepreneur was it was like, how I know someone is successful is that they have a low deficiency in vitamin D levels, which is really funny. Because like we literally don't see the light of day. Like I'm just stuck in my office, and I will be working all day. I'll just be working. Wherever I am, I'm working. I barely get to see the sun, and if I do, it's probably a Sunday. I never have really time to go out with family, and it's a sacrifice right now, and it's not like I'm purposely trying to avoid being with family. It's just like I'm trying to do this right now and build this thing right now so that I can provide for my family as much as possible in the future. And I think at any point in my journey, I always have to humble myself and be like, Andy, even though you made this money, even though you did all these things, you still have to prove them wrong, bro. You still have fucking people that are ahead of you. You still have all this shit going on. And there will always be someone ahead of me in both fitness, in both money, in both family, relationships, like whatever. But I don't care about the money. I care about just the journey and the process is really what I care about. I don't really, I mean, yeah, G-Wagon, would a G-Wagon make me fucking excited and happy? Sure, but it's like, it's 100% temporary. Like, this Tesla was one of my dream cars, and I love it, but it's not what gives me true happiness. True happiness really comes from being with my family and being connected with them. So, you know, a G-Wagon and you know, these nice cars, a Cybertruck, a Porsche 911, all this stuff is cool, but like at the end, it's just a toy. Like, it's not something that that really brings me joy. And you know, maybe my perspective will shift then, but I doubt it will. I 100% doubt it will, because I mean, I have this now, and it's like I have an AP, and you know, I was probably more happy back then when I closed my first deal than I was, you know, oh shit, I gotta make this really brave exit. And that's so risky. I was like fucking 3 feet away from that bus. But yeah, so again, the journey still continues. It's like, people may see that like I made it or whatever, but I am all I do is just I just work. That's just all I do. I work. I wake up at 7. I'm at the office at like 8. I preferably want to get there sooner. I'm thinking now it's probably going to take me, I timed myself this morning, take me like 15 minutes to get up and going. Like, if I like was intentionally trying to speed up, it would take me 15 minutes. So it's really just like making sure that I lock down my sleep schedule, because I want to be in the office at like 7:30. But I find that I don't actually fall asleep till like 10:30. Even if I like force myself, even if I overdose on melatonin, I won't fall asleep till like 10:30. You know, my mom has trouble falling asleep. You know, maybe it's a family thing, but most of her stuff is like stress related. And like, the thing that hurts me the most is like hearing her be like, you know, I can't sleep because all this work I have to do. And it's like, man, I want to like provide for her so that you know, I can for her not to be able to work, like not need to work, because she doesn't need to work. My goal is to become rich enough to be able to retire my parents before, you know, they retire themselves. So it's definitely a race, and that's the goal. And I make these videos to document my journey, to show that the journey is not always well, it's never pretty. There's very few moments where it's actually pretty. And funny thing is that that's captured on social media. And guess what? This is real. This is the real Andy. And I say a lot of things that entrepreneurs don't say. A lot of it is not sunshine and rainbows at all. This shit is stupid. This shit is all the mean words you can say, but very few times that there will be a like, that is awesome moment. And those moments are so awesome. Like, I had that was awesome moment today. But I mean, again, this like journey is whatsoever not pretty. It's a very disgusting, grimy journey, and it's very risky. You have to be a very risk tolerant person, and you have to be someone who really is a different breed, like genuinely a different breed, to be able to sustain this level of persistence for this song. Because, like, again, I said this before in one of my tweets, great things take time.